First tonight, the city of Dayton getting a makeover. Millions of dollars will now go towards rehabilitating homes throughout the city.
Abby Forbes spoke with the city officials about what that would look like. She's now live from the city of Dayton. Abby, exactly how much is being dedicated to this project?
At the City Commission meeting Wednesday, they decided that $2.4 million would be dedicated to revitalizing these homes in areas that were most impacted by COVID-19. Now, these American Rescue Plan Act funds will help the Montgomery County Land Reutilization Corporation rebuild vacant houses that would otherwise have been demolished. The city told me that they hope this will help the housing problem as well.
So what neighborhoods will be experiencing most of this construction here?
Yeah, so I'm told the construction will be taking place in Wolf Creek, Carillon, Edgemont, Miami Chapel, Five Oaks, and Old North Dayton. These are the neighborhoods that are most impacted by COVID-19.
We know that COVID impacted certain demographics or those of a certain income more than others, and then of course various predispositions for being impacted by COVID as well, all went into a quantitative analysis of areas that we should focus on.
I'm told that these funds need to be used by the end of 2026, so they plan to get these areas analyzed and then have the building take place in 2024 and 2025 so that they can finalize things in 2026. Back to you.
Abby, thank you. Tonight, one person recovering in the hospital after a house fire in Miami Township. Now, it happened on Overture Drive. Crews tell us everyone inside that house got out. However, one person was burned on their leg.
Crews were actually able to quickly extinguish those flames from the exterior to kind of get them knocked down quickly, and then we made an interior attack to extinguish those flames completely.
Firefighters are now trying to figure out exactly how that fire started.
And one person is dead tonight after a shooting that took place here near East 4th Street and South Monmouth Street in Dayton. Police confirmed that shooting had taken place after an argument. Once they got there, one suspect taken into custody after they discovered they were in a nearby house.
We did call the suspect out of the residence. He did come peacefully. We do have him detained for interview. We do have a weapon on scene. We are not sure if that's the weapon that was involved or not.
Now, no one else was hurt. The investigation is still ongoing tonight.
And tonight, the father of a 7-year-old boy whose body was found in the Great Miami River has been indicted. Augustine Rosales is now facing charges of rape under the age of 13, sexual battery, and unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. He was arrested by U.S. Marshals back in July in Cleveland and now extradited back to Montgomery County. Rosales is the father of Lucas Rosales. His bond is set at $1 million. He'll be in court again next Thursday.
Ansonia police officer Christian Idle is currently on unpaid administrative leave after he was accused of strangling an 8-year-old boy. Today he made an appearance in court. Mamie Ba explains what's next.
An outside prosecutor is handling this case given the fact that Idle is a member of the Ansonia Police Department. That's also the reason why the Darke County Sheriff's Office is investigating this case. On August 3rd, investigators say he beat his then-girlfriend's 8-year-old son. According to the arrest affidavit, Idle grabbed the boy by his neck, spanked and kicked him. She was able to pull him off and then get her 2 children out before calling 911. Idle was placed on unpaid administrative leave the following day. Today, we heard from the outside prosecutor who took over the case.
We want to dismiss it this time, and then I'm going to take this case straight to grand jury.
It's unclear when next we'll see Idle in court, but we do know it'll likely be after the grand jury hears this case. Back to you.
Today marks 1 year since Richmond police officer Sierra Burton was shot in the line of duty. Now, it happened during a traffic stop. For more than a month afterward, Burton fought for her life, first at Miami Valley Hospital, then at a hospice facility in Richmond before she passed away on September 18th. The city of Richmond announced a special prayer vigil and time of reflection on September 8th at 6 o'clock. Now, the vigil will take place on the south steps of the Richmond Municipal Building. And a few days ago, Richmond Mayor Dave Snow took to social media and made this statement on Sierra Burton, saying, quote, "In 4 short years, Officer Burton made quite an impact on our community and would become Richmond Police Department's first female canine officer. Her legacy is unquestionable and will remain within our police department and surrounding community for years to come," end quote.
As for the suspect in the shooting of Officer Burton, Philip Lee is awaiting a jury trial and currently remains in an Indiana correctional facility. Now, Lee is facing murder, attempted murder, drug and firearm charges. Prosecutors are also seeking the death penalty if he's convicted. The trial is set to begin on February 10th, 2025. Ohio U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown announcing today that Norfolk Southern has officially reimbursed the Clark County Sheriff's Office for expenses related to the train derailment that happened in Springfield back in March. Now, they had provided emergency services when 28 cars on that train derailed. Now, the railroad company has also reimbursed the Clark County Emergency Management Agency, the Springfield Township Fire Department, and the Clark County Agricultural Society. Senator Brown releasing this statement on the decision, saying, quote, "It is great news to hear that Sheriff Burchett's office has finally been paid in full, but it is inexcusable that it took over 5 months for Norfolk Southern to reimburse the local agencies for the mess caused by Norfolk Southern's negligence. I will continue to hold Norfolk Southern accountable and work to advance policies to help prevent further damage and potential injuries in the future," end quote.
Attorney General Dave Yost and 21 other attorneys general reached a multi-billion-dollar settlement with drug makers and pharmacies for their roles in the opioid epidemic. According to the AG's website, Ohio will now receive more than $679 million over the next 15 years. That money will then be distributed through the One Ohio plan. Yost says this has been a long time coming.
This war is fought on the ground of our streets, of our cities and our counties. And it's so important to get this money flowing. It's been since 2019.
The settlement money is due to start flowing to the states and local governments by the end of 2023.
All right, it is the eve of the weekend, and Friday's looking great, which I'm excited about selfishly because we're taking the kids to Kings Island tomorrow. Last hurrah before school starts.
Oh, you're off tomorrow?
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
That's fun. Why are you screaming? You screaming yes for my cousin Steve?
She'll miss me, that's the problem.
Well, Kings Island sounds like a lot of fun. So this is your bike forecast, but I'm also going to do a bike/Kings Island forecast for special for you, Adam. But ride forecast for tomorrow looking great. We got temperatures going to be climbing a little bit. Humidity will also build throughout the day, so we'll feel a little bit muggier. Now, if you're going to be riding your bike down to Kings Island, looking to stay dry down there for the most part. Mix of clouds and sunshine. Very, very, very slight chance of a stray shower or two across our entire area. So around 20% chance. Most of us going to be staying dry, but main story is plenty of sunshine mixed with it. Temperatures climbing and a little bit muggier.
Some students and staff at the University of Dayton uncertain tonight of their living situation for the upcoming new year. Now, this is one off-campus apartment isn't quite ready for move-in. Gwyneth Falloon spoke with the university and has the latest.
Well, imagine this. You're preparing for the new school year with plans to move into the newest off-campus apartment. But just days before the first day of school, the apartment announces it's not quite ready. This is unfortunately the reality for those who had plans to live in this apartment building behind me.
It's the Flight at Dayton, an off-campus luxury apartment building with amenities like a pool, gym, and even a fire pit. Although it's not a University of Dayton-owned property, the university says a number of its students and faculty are supposed to live here for the upcoming school year, which starts in less than 2 weeks. It's still under construction, even though, according to its website, there are currently apartments available for move-in next Monday, the 14th. A representative from the university sent me a statement saying it is aware some of its students and staff are delayed for move-in and tells me it's prepared to help students, saying, quote, UD Housing and Residence Life has reached out to students to inform them of available options for the entire 2023-24 year, including houses and apartments with single units, doubles, quads, and larger spaces. I also reached out to the Flight for comment and have not heard back.
If you would like to learn more about your on-campus housing options, UD encourages you to reach out to Housing and Residence Life. Back to you.
Tonight, the Ohio Supreme Court set to hear arguments in a case that put the state's law banning abortion after cardiac activity on hold. Lydia Bice is at the Now Desk. So, Lydia, when exactly is the court date?
That's right. So the court date is set for Wednesday, September 27th. Now, the so-called heartbeat bill became law in 2019, but remained unenforced until the U.S. Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade. Now, the law briefly went into effect until a Hamilton County Common Pleas judge put a pause on it, debating whether it's constitutional or not.
So how will this relate to the November ballot then here in Ohio?
So there is an abortion amendment on the November ballot, which will be under reproductive rights, which includes contraception, miscarriage care, and much more. Now, since Ohioans voted against issue 1 earlier this week, the percentage required to pass the amendment stays the same. It will be 50% plus 1. Back to you.
Lydia, thanks. Mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile in multiple locations in Montgomery County. Public Health Dayton in Montgomery County confirming mosquitoes collected in Madison Park and Trotwood and also along Marshall Road in Centerville tested positive for the virus. Now, it's most commonly spread by infected mosquitoes that can lead to fever, inflammation of the brain, or meningitis. Severe cases can be deadly as well. So some common ways to protect yourself: eliminate those standing pools of water around your yard, bird baths, buckets, anything. Avoid shaded areas, limit outdoor activity in the evenings. Wear protective clothing like long sleeves and pants if you're outside in those areas. Use insect repellents. Public health crews, by the way, they're going to be spraying and treating multiple areas across the county on Friday.
A major convenience store bringing its first Ohio spot to the Miami Valley. Huber Heights Mayor Jeff Gore announcing Buc-ee's is coming to his city. The gas station chain will be at the intersection of 235 and I-70. Now, Buc-ee's is known for many different things, including their beef jerky and brisket sandwiches. Up until now, the closest place you can get them has been in Richmond, Kentucky.
The death toll continues to rise after horrific wildfires hit Maui Island. The latest challenges that island now facing as evacuation orders remain underway.
A local university selling land, how this will improve the quality of an Ohio lake.
And we're going to take a look at the next time you can expect some showers or storms to return to the region. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
PACT Act is one of the most significant laws ever signed to help veterans exposed to toxic materials and help their families recover as well as receive compensation.
Tonight, President Biden pledging more support for veterans on the one-year anniversary of signing the PACT Act into law. Now, the legislation expands benefits to military members who were exposed to toxic chemicals from burn pits while serving. So far, veterans and their survivors received $1.8 billion in benefits. 4 million veterans received toxic exposure screenings.
Folks, we have a moral obligation. This goes beyond the financial. We have a moral obligation to respond to this. And I'm here today to spread the word so every veteran or surviving family member knows how to access benefits of this law.
The VA extended the deadline to apply for those retroactive benefits dating back a year. There were some technical issues last night with a surge of applicants. You now have until Monday at midnight to submit a claim or intent to file a claim.
Federal prosecutors are requesting a January 2nd, 2024 start date for Donald Trump's criminal trial over his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. That's just shy of 3 years after Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol. It's also just shy of 2 weeks before the first votes will be cast in the Republican primary for president. Special counsel Jack Smith's team wants a speedy trial, no more than 4 to 6 weeks. Trump's defense team will likely try to slow down that process.
All right, taking a look into my future crystal ball here. You can see through the night tonight, staying pretty clear. Slight chance of a light isolated shower out there, but most of us staying dry. Through the day tomorrow on Friday, you got a nice day ahead of you. Now, a few of us could see an isolated shower or storm in the late evening into the overnight hours, but quickly moving out once again. By Saturday morning, seems we got some stuff around us, but most of us staying dry. We'll have a little bit of clouds out there, but plenty of sunshine with it too. Models indicating we could see a push of energy around lunchtime, 1 p.m. And then as we move through the day, we'll have this boundary set up to our north, quickly move to the southeast. And this does have the chance to light up. And you can see all these little cells right here bring us a chance for some scattered strong or severe storms. So we will stay on top of that and keep you updated.
Tim, thanks. Now the latest out of Maui tonight, as officials announce at least 53 people so far are dead as a result of those wildfires. Hundreds of structures have been destroyed. FEMA's administrator will get to Hawaii tomorrow, as will multiple members of FEMA's disaster relief team. The FEMA administrator notes that the situation poses serious challenges.
Limited in our ability to where we can put people because it is isolated as an island. And so we're going to work closely with the state to understand what resources they need and what types of creative solutions we're going to have to bring in to help this community in the interim recovery, but more importantly, in their long-term recovery.
FEMA says Maui's situation is similar to that of Boulder, Colorado in 2021, where an entire community burned to the ground as fire was spread by excessive winds. Thousands have been displaced by the Maui wildfires and are receiving assistance. Others were separated and can't reconnect yet because phone lines are down and there's no gasoline available.
Lahaina looks like a bomb went off. There is nothing left. The entire village has been turned into rubble. It's a devastating sight to see.
Everything that we've owned, you know, in all my 50 years of life is completely burned to the ground. The home is gone.
Now, survivors are seeking shelter elsewhere on Maui. Others have gone to Oahu to shelter in the Honolulu Convention Center. The winds have died down, which is helping in the firefight.
And President Biden taking to social media, sending his condolences and prayers to those on the islands. In Utah, the president expressed his gratitude for the first responders and urged everyone to follow evacuation orders.
And I've directed that we surge support to these brave firefighters and first responders and emergency personnel working around the clock there, risking their lives. I just got off the phone before I got here for a long conversation with Governor Greene this morning. Let him know I'm going to make sure the state has everything it needs from the federal government to recover.
Biden authorized a major disaster declaration allowing federal assets to help the islands.
And groups in our state are looking to do their part to speed up the rebuilding process and help people leave the island. Tyler Madden explains.
They could not get back to their hotel in Kanapali because the wildfires had closed all of the roads. So they ended up sleeping in their car that evening.
That's one story Jerry Katz heard as he's worked to help people get out of Maui. The wildfires quickly spread and shut down major highways and canceled flights. Lahaina on the island of Maui, one of the hardest hit areas.
So much of the charm of Lahaina was the historical cultural relevance that it had as part of the capital of the Hawaiian kingdom at one point. From my understanding, it's just flat gone.
As the rescue efforts continue, many fear the death toll will continue to rise. I'm Tyler Madden reporting.
A live look right now outside from our Troy traffic cam. A beautiful night out there. Let's send it right out to meteorologist Tim Boyd. I'm a little jealous he's getting to stand outside right now.
Yeah, at least it is nice out here. Pretty, comfortable. Temperatures definitely lower. It is the evening, and humidity pretty low as well. So right now, right around 68 in Dayton, 67 out towards Xenia, 69 out towards Wilmington, and a little cooler out towards Richmond, sitting at a nice, comfortable 63 degrees. And compared to this time yesterday, most of us a couple degrees warmer, but Wilmington 3 degrees cooler, 6 degrees cooler in Middletown, but 1 degree warmer right here in Dayton. So the next couple of days, we can expect temperatures to slowly increase a little bit, get a little bit hotter, get a little bit muggier as well. And then we'll have those chances for some storms on Saturday. Sunday, looking really nice. Temperatures warming up again, really humid. And then we'll cool things down again at the beginning of the week with temperatures in the low 80s.
Community coming together to support local farmers. A closer look at the sunset at the market next. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
This week, Wright State University announced it is selling 10 acres of land along the shores of Grand Lake St. Mary's. They hope to improve water quality in that area. So the Grand Lake St. Mary's Lake Facilities Authority is purchasing the land, which is situated on the north shore of the man-made lake. Now, WSU's lake campus is also along the shore. It's being reported that the purchase should be finalized by the end of the year.
Once that portion of the project is done, we can proceed with development of wetlands, native grasses, and a walking path on the property.
Now, when completed, the 10-acre wetlands project, called the North Shore Green Space, will be the first of its kind on the north side of the lake. It'll impact about 100 acres of watershed draining into the lake.
Community coming together tonight to support local farmers. Five Rivers Metro Parks welcomed residents to the 2nd Street Market to help celebrate National Farmers Market Week. Tonight's Sunset on the Market event featured several vendors and visitors who spoke on the importance of local food and farming.
Communities, we need to think about, like, what if all, the big machine stuff just shut down someday where, there wasn't enough fuel. We need to be able to produce our food as close as to where we live as we possibly can, because it just makes makes sense on so many different levels.
Now, the event was put on in partnership with the Hall Hunger Initiative, which works in the community to create sustainable and just food items or food systems here in the Miami Valley. And take a look at this. This is what the kids area at Kings Island is going to be looking like. The amusement park expanding the children's section, adding a new adventure play space. There, kids can take part in an outdoor summer camp area and enjoy a new roller coaster. Construction will begin this fall.
Rookies for the Bengals, they're beginning to earn their stripes in training camp. We hear from a few of them ahead of the team's first preseason game against the Packers.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.